Stand by to launch FanStream Sports.
3, 2, 1. Let's start.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to FanStream Sports. Nothing but pure sports. This is the JP Show.
JP, it's so good to hear you back on the air.
Stand by. Now, here's JP.
He's been living on.
That's a shot high and deep to left. Way back it goes. It is gone. Home run for Randy Arozarena. A 1-1 pitch. And the Rays break out in front 3-0.
Yeah, courtesy of Bally Sports Sun. That's the way you start the game against the New York Yankees with a free-run homer and a big lead, and the Rays go on to win it 3-1. They didn't do much offensively after that. They didn't need to because their pitching has been so good, and the Yankees' offense is just dreadful. Oh, I feel so bad for them. Not really. Welcome into the JP Peterson Show. My good friend Nick Geddes by my side from Outsider.com, our co-host and producer here at our brand new wonderful digs. You even remembered to turn on the lights today. I love that.
Just in time.
Yeah, just in time. How are you this morning?
I'm doing great after another big Rays victory last night. You know, I put it out there. I love hearing the sound of Yankee fans boo their own team.
It's so good.
It's
when
beautiful.
they start to eat their own, it's so good. Boston and New York, yeah.
Beautiful.
And the boos were raining down last night, even on Aaron Judge. Some degree.
Yeah.
He came up in some big spots. And,
Aaron Judge begging. He's begging to see a 95-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah,
he's
not
begging
coming.
to see one.
Yeah, not going to happen. Not happening because he can't hit the off-speed stuff.
Not against the Rays.
Why would you throw him a fastball? That's the question. And he didn't get many last night. And once again, the Rays come away with a 3-1 win and are, dare I say, 9 games back. 9 games back. With 47 games to go, is there a chance? Well, look, if the Yankees keep playing like this, there's a great chance that the Rays are going to overtake them. The Yankees have lost 11 of 13. The Rays have won 8 of 12, including 4 straight. And they'll go again tonight, right? Or is this a day game tonight?
I believe I think it's still a night game. If I'm correct.
Kluber's on the hill, and we need a nice one.
We need
from
a better
Kluber.
one from him.
He's pitched well against the Yankees, though.
Yeah. Yankees, 5 straight series losses, which is the most they've had in a row since 2005.
Yeah.
And they are the worst team in baseball in the month of August.
How about that?
Right below the Tigers and the A's.
Below the Tigers and the
A's. And then all you want to know this happened? When they traded Joey Gallo. The curse of Joey Gallo
is
real.
It was a Gallo had 6 hits in his previous 60 at-bats, and he's already had 6 hits.
He had a bomb yesterday. The Dodgers are 11-1 since they got him, and the Yankees are 2-11.
I wish we could take calls this morning just from Yankee fans. They suck. All their money.
They've given up.
Fire Cashman.
They've given up.
Yeah. But the Yankee fans.
They've given up.
How do you give up on this team?
You're booing your own team and you're 35 games over 500.
I mean, we love it. They keep doing it, but I mean, my God. So we'll talk some Rays baseball here in just a little bit. We'll continue with that. We got a lot of Bucs talk for you as well. We got a great show for you coming up today. Dan Lucas is going to join us at 11:15 live from Nashville as the Bucs and Titans go at it. So we'll get a nice feel for what's going on up in Music City there. At 10:30, John Gerber is going to join us, PGA Pro John Gerber, who gave us Will Zalatoris last week as a winner and cashed that ticket. So he'll give us his picks again this week for the BMW Championship. Christopher Lugo will join us as well from Bay Area Modern Medical Center. We're going to talk about weight loss and also getting your immune system back in order and some good workout stuff for you guys. If you want to feel better, get better, we'll talk about testosterone replacement therapy if you guys are interested in that, which I highly recommend. So we'll talk all about that with Christopher Lugo. So we'll get you healthy today as well. Will Turner is going to join us from 247 Sports, covers the Bulls. Is that right? 247 covers the USF Bulls, and we'll talk about Gary Bohannon becoming the new starting quarterback and Timmy McClain going out the door. We talked a little bit about that yesterday, but we'll also hear from head coach Jeff Scott, who talked about that. And Bob Herrig will join us as well at 11:45 from the BMW Championship. And a big meeting last night with the players, a players-only meeting. Tiger Woods flew in with Ricky Fowler on the Woods Express, and lots of very important topics discussed as far as the PGA Tour vis-a-vis Live Golf. So we'll get some inside scoop from Bob Herrig on what was discussed and what the future of the PGA Tour versus Live Golf looks like. I think it's going to get a lot messier before it gets any better. I think that's pretty fair to say at this point.
I'd say so.
Yeah,
I'd say so, especially after reading the thing with Patrick Reed and the lawsuit that he has and everything. Some interesting terminology in there from him.
Yeah, what did I didn't read that whole story.
I didn't read the whole thing either, but I kind of skimmed over it a little bit. But it's not getting pretty. He's suing some people that are involved with the PGA directly, and this is separate from the big one that I think 11 players of Live that have done.
Yeah, a lot of litigation here.
Yeah.
A lot of litigation here. Not great for the game of golf, and we have nobody else but Greg Norman to thank for this, and the Saudis who want to bring in their sports washing money and try to make themselves look good, and they've done exactly the opposite. So we'll get all the scoop on that. So that's a hell of a show right there. That's a hell of a show. You should be paying extra for that today, but you're not. All right, but welcome into the show. We appreciate you guys joining us each and every day. We're brought to you by Emerging Investigations. You can find them at emergeinv.com. We'll tell you more about them as the show goes along. If you're looking for a private investigation firm, they are Tampa's premier PI firm, Emerging Investigations. We're going to have them on the show tomorrow. They will be joining us on the show tomorrow to tell us some fun stories about surveillance. So if you're cheating on your spouse or you think you're going to get away with it, you better think again. Or if you want to find out about your spouse, that's the way to go. All right, so let's talk some Braves baseball and get into it. We heard the Randy Arozarena hit last night, and listen, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but I tried to look at things from 30,000 feet, not just the particular game last night, and it's actually 2 nights in a row. The Rays offense has been pretty much 1 or 2 hits. And that's all you're going to get. And the offense still is in need of a jolt. We love beating the Yankees. The pitching has been phenomenal. We love that. But evidently everybody beats the Yankees. So I know you're giving me the side eye. I see the side eye already. But I'm a realist here. I'm a realist. I love beating the Yankees, but let's not get too crazy. It's not like this Rays team is hitting on all cylinders from an offensive standpoint. They got one bomb last night.
They followed the recipe. This is the way the Rays win. Nobody's expecting them to score 5 runs every single game.
You let the Yankees strike out every time? The pitching's been great, but I mean, you can't
get an early lead like they had the last 2 nights, and then you just pitch well.
Yeah, they did a great
job.
job.
Good defense.
They did a great job.
I mean,
I'm still looking forward to getting. I know Ramirez came back last night, but Wander Franco, not exactly sure what's going on there. He was taken out of the game, maybe a little hand soreness. Let's hope that's not a setback. I saw a video of Margot going 1st to 3rd last night, so he looks like he's running. He's running well, so he's eligible to come back. I think Saturday, I believe it is.
Yeah.
So we'll get him back, and that's going to be a big plus, especially if we can get the guy that was playing before he left. I mean, he was carrying this team offensively, and that's what we need.
Yeah, I'm not really worried about it. I mean, that you have to think about who they went and faced as well. I mean, Garrett Cole had his plus stuff the other night.
Yeah.
Nestor Cortez settled in pretty good after the home run to Randy yesterday. So you go up against all-star pitchers like that, it's bound to happen.
It's a good point.
I look at
especially
it more
with this lineup.
I look at it more that the Rays just went 2 games against the Rays, and no offense to Ryan Yarbrough, but they went full bullpen mode and had Ryan Yarbrough go 4 innings, and you were able to get out of there with a shutout.
Yeah.
The following game, you go with Jeffrey Springs, who's been great this year, don't get me wrong, but the fact that he was able to give you 5 yesterday, and really nothing really, by the way. I think he only gave up like a hit or 2 to the Yankee offense.
Yeah.
And got out of trouble there in the 5th when it started, and they took him out, and the bullpen came in, was excellent. I mean,
how about Jason Adam?
Do
you not feel like it's almost Mariano Rivera like the way he's going right now?
Can we get our own version of Edwin Diaz? I don't know what the version is we could do for Jason Adam when he comes in to the 9th inning, but we need something.
Yeah, let's brainstorm that a little bit. They got the trumpets. I love the trumpets. Yeah, we
need something for Jason Adam.
So Jason Adam, you kind of think Adam Bomb. Where are we going with this? You dropped the bomb on me. Is that? That's an old school one. That's an old school.
It's gone over my head. I'll tell you that.
Oh, you haven't heard that one. You dropped the bomb on me.
No.
Adam Bomb. No. Okay.
No, that's not what I'm thinking.
Yeah, it's really not. It's not. It's too goofy anyway. You need something like hardcore. Enter Sandman or something like this.
That was Moriano's.
Yeah, I know, but something in that's hard rock. You don't need some bubbly pop stuff like that. So, or the trumpets are just, that's fantastic, but it doesn't really fit Jason Adam. You folks out there, come on, let's come up with something.
Yeah, we need something. Let's get the trop going.
When he comes in the thing, we can't steal Wild Thing because that's been done too much.
When he comes in the ninth inning, though, we need something in that building.
You can't do Thunderstruck as the lightning theme.
That's so passe.
It's so passe, but something like that. Maybe a little bit more up to date. I don't know. Come on, you're the young kid. Let's get
JP. I listen to music that's from when you were in your prime. Okay,
well, that's true. You do. But Jason, what is Jason Adam like? Does he like country? Does he like?
Do we know anything about Jason?
We really
Adam?
don't.
Do we?
We really don't. We should like look up his bio and see what kind of.
We need to do a deep dive on Jason Adam before we can.
But here's
the
whole problem with that, though. We don't use him like a traditional closer, and I'm not saying we should. So when it's the bottom of the sixth, or the top of the sixth at home, and he's coming in.
I want him in.
You got to have the music. You got to have everything.
Regardless.
Yeah. I don't know. But this is something that we've got to start working on. And listen, I have full faith in that tremendous Rays marketing department to come up with something very creative, because their in-game entertainment is so top notch. I mean, that team they have over there that's doing the in-game entertainment is just, it blows away what we do at the Lightning. I mean, we're just playing catch up with those guys. I mean, it's just,
I can feel us going down a path that I don't want to go down. And so we're gonna go back to what Jason Adam did.
So we're gonna have to come up to it with it on our own. It's just gonna have to be something fan driven.
Yes,
is what you're saying.
Yes, probably.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, let's put it out there. What are we gonna do for Jason? Because he deserves it. I mean, he deserves it. This dude is shut down city.
He deserves it for that slide piece to Rizzo last night.
Oh,
just that one pitch.
Oh, that was beautiful. It almost hit him.
Yeah,
it almost hit him, and they wouldn't even have to lean into that one. Yeah, that was good. And then did he face Judge too?
He faced Judge. It was in the big moment there. In the big moment. He came in. He had to get the 4 out.
Yeah.
He get the 4 out save.
Yeah.
And he had just some nice movement on that sinker, I believe it was able to get him to ground out to Brandon Lau and get out of the inning. I mean, he's got the 4th lowest ERA of any reliever this year in baseball. The 4th lowest in baseball. And I couldn't tell you I don't know if this guy's making $1 million this year for the Rays. And I don't even know.
Was not allowed to go to the All-Star game.
Wasn't allowed to go to the All-Star game, which makes no sense.
Yeah.
But my goodness, you'll be hard pressed to find a better reliever in baseball at the moment.
No, and he's just when you have a guy like that,
the Rays always have a guy like this. They always do. I mean, you think about it, like and you have Fairbanks now who looks like he's pitching to his ability. And the other reinforcements are coming. This bullpen is going to be great for the Rays down the stretch. And that's why I'm telling you, this division race is not over. It is not
9
over.
games is a lot. The Yankees are going to, although, is Carpenter coming back? I mean, when is DJ LeMahieu coming back?
Are they really going to hitch their hopes on Matt Carpenter coming back?
Well, the bottom line is when they had all these guys, they were kicking ass. They were scoring a lot of runs. They were playing good baseball. And they've lost significant pieces to their offensive puzzle. And, when you have LeMahieu out, Carpenter out, Giancarlo Stanton out. I mean, they're getting a little taste of what the Rays have been able, to sustain all year long. And that's fair, basically. Honestly, it is fair. So,
to be fair, though, I thought the way the Yankees are playing right now, I mean, I wasn't ever expecting to be this bad at this point in the season. But I would say, and I think everybody would say, they've overachieved based on what they were coming into the season.
The Rays?
No, the Yankees.
The Yankees.
I think they've massively overachieved based on what they had.
Well, listen,
they were going to regress at some point.
Yeah, they were going to regress to the mean a little bit. But the Yankees should be this way every year. With the amount of money that they spend, they should be like the Dodgers every year. That's how bad Brian Cashman is. I don't know how the hell he still has a job. He's spent how many billions of dollars since the last time they've won a World Series, 2009? I mean, how does this guy still have a job with the money they spend to get the mediocre results that they've gotten? The Rays have been kicking their ass for the last 5 years, and they spend triple what the Rays spend. I mean, and Cashman just in a media market like New York, how has that guy still got a job?
I think Yankee fans are always going to be questioning that.
Good God,
always going to be questioning.
If the boss was there, Cashman would have been fired 4 times by now, and rehired. Maybe not even rehired, but he would have been. He wouldn't be still there unscathed. That's for damn sure.
Yeah,
no way. But screw the Yankees. Who cares about them?
Yeah.
All we care about is one more win over them. I mean, can you imagine just a sweep of the Yankees in their own house? Like, take that.
I'm telling you, this is the Rays need to make a statement tonight.
Yeah,
they need to keep this going. Let's go for another shutout.
Yeah.
Let's go for another one.
Kluber?
A little
Kluber shutout?
Give me 5 innings of shutout baseball. Let's turn it over to the pen and let's go.
By the way, did you see Poche warming up?
I saw your tweet about Poche, and you just can't let anything just be good. You have to always come in.
Yeah. You have a snarky spot here and there. Yeah, absolutely. Like the human tanking machine is warming up the bullpen. If they need to really throw this game, we could bring Poche. If they'd have brought Poche in to face like anybody and taken Adam out, would you have lost your mind? I would have lost my mind.
In a 3-1 ball game late, I would have lost my mind.
Because
I was already losing my mind.
Well, we didn't want Adam to get up again.
I was already losing my mind a little bit about Sean Armstrong. I was like, okay, let's hurry up and get to Adam here.
Get him the hell out of here. Yeah, but they got it done. All right, we didn't hear from Kevin Cash. We got the little Cash sound. We'll hear a little post gloating by Kevin. Of course, Kevin.
Perhaps a happier Kevin Cash, by the way.
Yeah, he's been a little snarky, a little salty Cash lately. I don't blame him.
We'll start with Jeffrey Springs, 1-run, 2-hit baseball through 5 innings. What was so impressive about him today?
We talked about fastball command. When he's got that going, it seems like everything else opens up, and he had it. It was just good to see. Our pitching has just been outstanding the last 2 games here. And it's tough to do, but Jeff just picked up right where we left off from yesterday.
I was going to say the bullpen. What'd you see from them today? A continuation of yesterday?
Yeah, a lot of pitch execution. Really pumped for Sean Armstrong. That was a big moment right there. He's thrown the ball really, really well for us, and glad that he got in there and executed the pitches the way he wanted to and handed it over to the next guy.
Randy Arozarena, seeing the ball leave the park. That's 4 home runs, I believe, in the last 6 games. What are you seeing from him?
Hopefully that's the trend, that he's kind of heating up. We know when he gets going, he can carry just a massive load for us, and don't want to put the pressure on him to do it, but we certainly will take it. He is having better at bats. Even tonight, later in the game, there were a couple just misses.
And last thing for me, we did see Wander left the game in Durham. Any sort of an update on him?
I'm very confident that he's fine. Wander really wants to play bad. I think it's just some general soreness. We'll see what the trainer says, but don't anticipate too much from that.
Just to come in here and play as well as you guys have on back-to-back days, knowing, you talked about they had the best record in the division and all that. Yeah, well, they do. But I was going to say the American League, but Houston did pass them. But it's got to be confident boosting for the players, you think? Yeah,
look, we need to feel good about ourselves. It's been a grind a little bit from the All-Star break. And, wins in this ballpark against this team, that they can elevate you a little bit, make you feel that much better.
And I know most people have looked at this division race as the Yankees were way out ahead. You did cut the margin to 9 games tonight. Is it something at least worth not right off? I mean, it's within your sights.
I'll let you talk about that. We got a long way to go. Let's see if we can find a way to win tomorrow.
And I know he's been doing it all year, but Jason Adam comes in, gets Judge, and then 3 more outs. Just how solid has he been?
Really, really good. Last night could have made the case not to put him in the game 4-0, but felt it was important for him to get the final outs there. And then he got a little bit more anxiety-filled taste of it tonight, having to get an up-down coming in the 8th inning. But he's been a stud for us.
You've talked a couple times about it would be good if Randy got going. Do you think he's been listening to your interviews, or?
Sure. Yeah, I hope.
But I mean, it is rewarding to see him kind of.
Yeah, look, he on any given night he can be as talented as anybody on the field, and when he puts it together, we've seen the spurts. And look, I mean, it's tough to nitpick a guy that just won the Rookie of the Year. So he's doing it, and it does feel like kind of similar to last year, where his numbers kind of got going second half. It feels like he's doing a very similar thing right now.
Right, like you say, he's already got 20 steals. He's closing in on another 2020 season.
Right,
but yet if he can do it in spurts, it's going to help him.
But if this spurt from here on out, that'd be a great spurt. Yeah.
There's Kevin Cash kind of encapsulating that big victory last night. So the Rays are on a roll. It's great to see them beating up on the Yankees. I guess I got a little nitpicky there in the beginning of the show, but I just want to see a little bit. Well, the offense was dreadful after the first. It
doesn't matter. You get all your runs in the first inning, you're up 3-0. I expect you to still win the game, and the Rays did. And it really wasn't all that close. Yeah. And the pitching, he talked about the pitching the last 2 nights. Go back to the second game against Baltimore in that series, 36 innings. They've given up just 4 runs, and they've struck out 37 batters and just walked just 5. That's it.
That's
for the
good.
pitching in the last 4 games.
That's
pretty
good. That's pretty good.
Pretty damn good.
That's pretty damn
So
good.
when you do that, you're
going to win a lot. You're going to win a lot. You don't have to score.
When you do that, you don't have to score.
You can have a crappy offense like they have and still win ball games.
Yeah. And Randy Arozarena looked like he was the subject for the last minute of that presser.
Yeah.
I've always felt this year like there was like another level for him to get to.
Yeah.
And he's really starting to hit it now as we get closer to playoff time. And, you know, he's another guy in this lineup, how Brandon Lau's done. He can carry you for a couple weeks.
Yeah.
He can carry you.
This is starting to feel like a little bit of something. It's only 4 games in a row, and I get 8 of 12. It's starting to feel like a little bit of something.
And the other thing, too, looking ahead, you know who the Rays play after the Yankees?
Who?
4 games at home against the Royals.
Against the Royals.
Bad baseball team.
Very bad baseball team.
The Yankees got 4 at home against.
I'm worried about that series.
Oh, it's a trap series.
Yeah, that's where we always let our guard down.
I hope they don't, because New York's got to play Toronto in a 4-game series after the Rays. So I'm telling you, this is a huge week right here to see how.
So you're saying if they actually
stay
stay focused, if they sweep their Yankees and stay focused and bring that same intensity home against the Royals,
3 out of 4 against the Royals,
and Toronto,
let's say Toronto wins 3 out of 4 against the Yankees.
Who do we really want to win that though? Toronto or the Yankees? Because I still think it's a big
now. Toronto's behind us
but
now.
you want to keep them behind you.
Yes.
It's still a big stretch, Mister. We're going to go run down the Yankees 9 games out with 47 to go.
I have belief.
Come on,
I have belief in it.
The likelihood of that happening just in the numbers game is ridiculous. If you start mapping that out, you got to play like 750 baseball, and they got to play like 400 baseball. That's not going to happen.
I just want them to get it around.
So I'd rather focus on getting that number 1 wild card. So you got the home game, the home
doing
series.
well to get there.
Yeah, absolutely. So to me, I'm like, take Toronto out. I like to see the Yankees get a little hot, but whatever's going to happen is going to happen. You just keep playing good baseball.
You just got to keep playing good baseball.
Keep playing good baseball. But the point is, you know, and again, we keep telling you this: when Franco comes back and Margot comes back, there should not be expectations that these guys are going to step in the box and start ripping it up.
They're going to be better than what's in there that they're replacing. Luke Raley, Roman Quinn.
Yes, they are going to be better than that. But I don't want people's expectations to be we're going to get the Margot that we got when he got injured, or the Franco. These are not 2-week injuries. These guys have been out for 2.5 months, and it takes time to catch up the fastballs, especially what's out there these days. It's going to take time. But if you keep pitching like this, it don't matter. You're just and how about, you know, getting a guy by the name of Tyler Glasnow back? This guy's completely healthy. We have to start asking the question, when he's completely healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing? We need, I don't think I said we need pitching after what we've just done, but we need pitching. This is not going to last.
They have a lot of decisions to make with the rotation and the bullpen in the next few weeks, because I saw too, I believe Yanni Chirinos and the other name that's escaping me right now, they've moved
Brendan McKay.
Yeah. Who I don't know. I don't even know if he's even in play to even get up to the major league roster, because
I don't know if he's good enough.
I just frankly don't know if he's good enough.
It's good enough to be on the staff. Yeah.
It's been so long since he's pitched. It's been so long since Yanni Chirinos has pitched.
And when he pitched here, and I know he was young and everything else, it's just the stuff was not great. It was just okay. I don't think it was major league dominant.
That's why I don't know. But I mean, the fact that they're going to AAA, let's see how they do here with these next couple
Good thing
weeks.
is you don't need him. You're not like, we got to get him back.
They're still a wave ahead of those guys. And it's Nick Anderson and it's JT Chargois. Those are the first, and JP Fireeisen. Those are the big three.
Fireeisen, I'd like to see him.
Those are the big three that you have to get in there. And then you're going to weed out, Sean Armstrong. You're going to weed out, the Garzas of the world, those kind of guys that you don't have to rely on anymore. That's when the Rays are going to have to make decisions.
And how about this name? Jonathan Aranda. He's raking. He's been raking.
He is.
He's definitely going to be a September call-up, right? Why is he not? I
just don't know where you put him in the lineup. When the Rays get fully healthy, there's just no room for him in the lineup. There isn't. The only thing I can tell you is
first base.
I know what I was going to say. G-Man Choi, nobody's really been talking about it. He has been slumping for a while now.
Yeah.
I don't know if Kevin Cash takes him out of the lineup, though. I don't know if Kevin Cash takes him out of the lineup. But Jonathan Aranda just seems like he's way too good to be in AAA.
Have they been playing him at first base in Durham by chance?
Aranda?
Yeah.
I don't believe so.
They need
to.
But
I feel like he has that versatility. He can.
Sure.
It's just like
we put Harold Ramirez at first base. Come on.
Yeah, and Paredes has played there before.
Right. So we put anybody over there. Aranda's he's obviously a good glove.
That's a good point, though. I just brought up Paredes, for example. when the Rays get fully healthy, I don't even see a way for Paredes to be in the everyday lineup.
Look,
so where do you think Aranda's going to fit in?
But that's the other part about the Rays is they use 25.
There's not an everyday lineup.
Yeah, it's not an everyday lineup.
Brandon Lau just had like 2 days off in a row.
Yeah, so there's it's all matchups, and if you should expect to get 2 to 3 at bats every day.
Yeah,
just however the course of the game is going to go, you should be prepared to get 2 or 3, if not more, at bats every single game. Everybody's going to play. That's always kind of been that started with Joe Madden. Everybody has a role. Everybody's going to play. Come to the yard, get ready to play.
Yeah.
So when you say where do we put him, we figured that out. Especially with that bat, we got to find a place for him.
Yeah.
We do. We have to find a place for him. So, but all of this is trending really well towards the Rays.
Yeah.
They've
endured it. They've endured it. They're 9 games over.
Yeah.
They're 9 games over.
With 17 people on the IL most of the year. That's just insane. It's insane.
Yeah. So it's like we've been frustrated by the Rays so much this year, but we have to keep in mind what they're really doing here and ask yourself how many other teams in baseball could do it.
Oh, nobody. Well, look at the Yankees. They get 3 injuries, not 17, 3. They get 3 injuries, and they've lost 11 of 13. They have a 0 depth. They have 0 resilience.
They have depth in the minors, but they don't call them up.
Yeah, you've got, but the resilience factor too. You're still the Yankees. You got a ton of talent out there. You've lost 11. You're the worst team.
Yeah,
that's awful.
I mean the Rays.
That's terrible leadership. That's terrible managing. That's just terrible everything. You suck, Yankees. You take your big ass payroll and you get a few injuries, and we're going.
I
in the
hope
tank.
we get more boots today. I mean, listen to this. I mean, here's another good example. Like the Padres, for example. The Padres have all these great players, like all over the field.
Yeah, we haven't even talked about Fernando Tatis.
They're only 2 games ahead of the Rays in the standings. 2. And look at the players they have on the field on a night-to-night basis, and look what the Rays have had to endure. So we put it in perspective like that, how amazing it is what the Rays have been doing.
It's crazy. All right, before we get to John Gerber, I want to do a little bit on the Bucs. Obviously, they're up in Nashville. We're going to be speaking with Dan Lucas from News Channel 8 from practice. He's going to observe the first half hour, and then he will join us at 11:15. Will Turner from 247 Bulls, talk some USF Bulls, going to join us at 11:30. Bob Herrick, 11:45. Chris Lugo, the good doctor from BAMMC, will join us at 10:45. But I want to get some Todd Bowles in there if we can from yesterday, just to kind of set up what's going to happen here in Nashville, what we're looking at. Very important practices. Obviously, still no Brady, but Kyle Trask is going to get some good reps. The interior of the line, I think, is something to really look for, because as we mentioned yesterday, this Titans team is very, very physical. Jeffrey Simmons, their Pro Bowl defensive tackle, will be giving the boys Aaron Stinney, Luke Gedicke, and Hainsey in the middle. Lots of good reps. So let's listen into Todd Bowles' quick press conference from yesterday. Vis-a-vis the joint practices. Good afternoon, Todd.
Just want to ask you, Nashville, will that very much be the same protocols, the same?
Sorry, say that one more time.
I said Nashville the next 2 days. Will that be the same protocols, same demeanor as what you had here with the Dolphins, you expect?
Yeah, it'll be similar to that. Maybe a drill or two different, but for the most part, the same.
Big guys like Mike Evans or Russell Gage being able to go the next the 2 joint practice days?
No, they won't be practicing this week.
No Gage, no Evans, no Brady.
I mean, first round of cuts today.
Godwin probably
the biggest thing is probably Ross Cockrell. Does that speak more to the young defensive backs that he's competing with, or?
Including the veterans we brought in. So, we had a lot of guys. We thought enough of Ross to give him a chance to get on with somebody else. So that's why we did it so early, but he did a lot of things for us in the past.
Somebody like Zion, he's talked about how he played a lot of press coverage.
Zion McCollum.
I guess for a young back looking to make that transition, what are some of the keys to maybe playing off coverage more or playing more zone?
Just reading your keys. For the most part, reading his keys. He read them for the most part all camp. He got in the game. He didn't read it that one time, but, he'll learn from it. He's a very good study guy. Just learning from the other guys, watching film, seeing it in practice, and reading his keys. When his eyes are right, he's a very good player.
You mentioned Julio tonight. Russell Gage, health-wise, is he going to travel to Tennessee?
I'll check, but he should be, yeah.
Traveling but not
We saw
playing.
Chris Godwin out there during 11-on-11. It's just what is it like seeing him progress and being able to, seems like, take another step forward in his rehab?
Yeah, it's just good to see him out there, putting him in team drills a little bit, let him get his feet wet. But we're still on the process with him day by day, and we're bringing him along slowly.
He's ready.
The joint practice.
He had a great practice yesterday.
You get two of them, with two different teams.
With only 3 preseason games, I think it's necessary because you go into the game and your starters won't play as much. So in practice, you get the real team's offense or defense, and you get more plays. Going into the preseason game, it'll be very vanilla for most teams. So the practice you get with these guys in certain situations and drills may not come up in that game. So it's very important for us to get that work.
Are there Titans guys you know well, and former teammates or anything like that? Brable, you know him well?
I know him pretty good, but we're not former teammates. Not any former teammates, no.
Any updates on Gio Bernard?
No, still day by day.
Will you do a little bit more as far as installing or more with the game plan for this second game, or will it be pretty much the same thing as you did against Miami?
We try to work on something different. We're not game planning Tennessee. It's just good practice for us. We're still installing our camp stuff as we go along, but we'll try some different things in the game that we think we need to work on.
You had said that you guys might get an answer on Ryan Jensen this week. Have you got any more clarity on that?
Question on Jensen?
Not at this time, no, I haven't.
Nope. Carl Nassib's question.
I want to ask you what he brings, as much as you can, what he would bring to this defense to help you out.
Well, Carl's tough in the run. When he was here with us, he's a very good pass rusher on the outside, and he can also play inside in some nickel situations. So he has a lot of versatility. He brings a lot of energy, brings a lot of toughness, and, he understands the system, and he was comfortable in it. So, we look forward to him coming here.
Todd Bowles, yesterday's press conference as they get set. We're already in Nashville, and we'll have Dan Lucas join us at 11:15. Our first hour brought to you by Emerging Investigations, Tampa's premier private investigation agency. So if you have any questions maybe about your spouse, they cheating, hiding money, going through a divorce, you got an employee or ex-employee that may be doing you dirty, or you got a criminal matter you need help with, get the information that you can count on using the professionals at Emerging Investigations. They are family-owned business, but they are a very professional and wide-ranging. They use high-tech stuff to get the results that you need to know and information that you can count on. They maintain an excellent reputation as the premier investigation agency here in Tampa Bay. So if you're a local attorney, an insurance agency working some insurance fraud, they do a lot of that work, a concerned neighbor, anything you need to find out, don't take matters into your own hand. You'll get bad information and put yourself in jeopardy. Call the professionals at Emerging Investigations. Go to their website, emerginginv.com, or call them at 813-291-FACT. That's 813-291-FACT. And we welcome them aboard. It's one of our new sponsors. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, PGA professional John Gerber will join us. We'll talk a little golf. He gave us a winner last week in Will Zalatoris. So we hope you cash that ticket. And we'll get some more winners today for the BMW. So stay with us. The world economy is in chaos, and mortgage rates are going to go higher in the next few months. Meanwhile, home values are up 24% in some neighborhoods of Tampa Bay. Do not miss this opportunity to refinance your home. Get some much-needed cash to handle skyrocketing inflation and fill up your car. Contact Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Even if you've recently refinanced, Scott can make the deal work because he charges no lender fees like the big boys do. He will also shop your loan around to dozens of lenders and get the best rates and terms. Let them compete for your business. The big banks charge huge lending fees. Customer service is simply a phone number with endless wait times. Scott is local and will personally take your call. Here's his cell phone number. Tell him JP said you could call. 813-294-7595. Scott's done over 3,000 loans, including many coaches and athletes. He will answer your calls and concerns and give you workable strategies to be smart with your money. Reduce your payments. It's not just what you make, it's what you keep. staff are proactive in looking at your issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle, building up your immune system, not destroying it with poor nutrition and bad habits. So call for an appointment, maybe change your primary care, and get on a journey back to full health and a happy life. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Military veterans, are you struggling with alcoholism or substance abuse? Is it taking a toll on your relationships and your work life? Are you having trouble focusing, constantly anxious? Well, you may not be surprised to know that your fellow military vets have your six. Heroes Mile is a new concept in rehabilitation clinics, veterans helping veterans. At Heroes Mile, we staff our rehab center with fellow veterans who can understand what you're going through. Our mission is to help you heal from issues that only your fellow veterans can truly understand. Located just outside of DeLand, we offer a full range of inpatient and outpatient programs dealing with substance abuse, post-traumatic stress, and military sexual trauma. We choose to serve veterans because we know how complex these issues are. You could choose to fight the battle alone or win the war together. We are the community care provider with the VA and also accept most major insurance. At Heroes Mile Rehabilitation Center, we have your six. Go to heroesmile.com or call 888-VET-NOW-2. That's heroesmile.com or call 888-VET-NOW-2.
Coming back at you. Now, more with JP on FanStream Sports. It's only just begun.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Emerging Investigations and also Bay Area Modern Medical Center, BAMMC.com. Christopher Lugo is going to join us in our next segment. So if you guys have been thinking about leaning up, losing some weight, or getting testosterone replacement therapy, we'll get you all that information and also just talk about your overall health and keeping that immune system boosted. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, they have all the techniques and the modern techniques that will help you out. We'll talk to Chris Lugo here in our next segment. But right now, we're going to make you some money, and hopefully you took his advice last week and bet on Will Zalatoris to win. He gave you the winner. It's our PGA betting professional, John Gerber, joining us now. What's up, John? How are you?
Hey, fellas. Good morning. How are you?
Thanks for the winner last week, partner. I bought a new boat. Appreciate that.
Yeah, well, it was a little shaky there going into those playoff holes. I thought he was going to do kind of what Will does, but he got it done for us last week. So it was good to see him win for sure.
Well, luckily he had somebody in the playoff that was worse or dumber than him. I mean, how the hell do you lose that playoff? First of all, let's go. If you guys didn't see this finish, it was amazing. I'll give you the floor to kind of take us through that playoff and what the hell we saw there. That was a train wreck, but it was fun to watch.
Yeah, it was a little crazy, right? It looked like those guys had some fatigue going into those playoff holes. And if you look at Sepp Straka, he got pretty lucky on that 18th hole hitting 3-wood, and it looked both times he was going to hit it in the water left.
Yeah,
and he got real lucky there, and I think that's a little bit of fatigue factor, and the weather was really hot there in Memphis also. So, it was a little sketchy. When I was watching, I think we texted a little bit back and forth. I was like, please don't hit that ball when it was on the rocks there. Please don't hit it. I was begging a little bit for him there, Will Zalatoris. But, it just goes to show how hard it is to win out there, especially to get your first win. But again, like we talked about, I think this might catapult him to some pretty good things.
Yeah, so let's talk a little bit more about that decision. I don't know if you've been in that particular situation there, but if you guys didn't see this, Zalatoris hits the ball in this par 3 in the playoff. It bounces on the little rock ledge. How it doesn't go in the water, I have no idea. And it settles up against the grass, and clearly he could not play that shot. It was kind of down in a hole. And then Straka steps up and hits the damn ball in the water. He had a whole green. All you got to do is hit the green from like 150.
Yeah.
And he that's got to be the worst swing ever in his career. And then
and it looks like you said, and it looks like that. You need a break like that to get your first win, right? To have that ball stay right there on that corner. So it was pretty wild.
So would you have tried to play that shot or go back to the drop zone like he did?
Well, my ball probably would have just went in the water in the first place, so I probably wouldn't have had that option. So, I wouldn't have to think about it. But no, it didn't look like he had an option to hit it. I think in his interview, he said, I didn't really want to hit that ball. He said he couldn't get any part of his club underneath the bottom equator of the ball. So I think it was, to be honest with you, I think he might have just kind of slow played him a little bit, going up there and looking at it and kind of see where he was. On that other shot. That's what I was thinking.
Little gamesmanship. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So Zalatoris gets his first win, and that was well deserved. And now we move on to the BMW Championship. So who do you got this week and why?
Yeah, if we look at Wilmington Country Club up there in Delaware, it's a golf course that none of these guys have played before. It's the first time that these guys played, especially in the FedEx playoff. It's one of the longest golf courses on tour, probably going to play about 74, 35, par 71 at sea level. So, I really kind of lend to some really long hitters going into this week, and no one having an advantage of the golf course. So my first pick this week is Tony Finau at 18-1. I think last week, if you look at his stats, he chipped the ball really poorly, and that's what he does in Bermuda grass.
Mm-hmm.
His stats last week on Bermuda was, on bent, are plus 1.8 over the field on bent, and he's minus a half a shot going into Bermuda when he chips. So it's all a little over 2 shots from Bermuda to bent how he chips. So he's back on some familiar grass this week. So that's why I like him, and he's a long hitter. Cameron Young's our second pick this week at 25-1. He kind of grew up in that New England area, New York area, so he knows the grass, knows the elevation. And it wouldn't be surprising me if he's one of those guys that has played up there, just growing up in that area. So I really like him at 25-1, and he's a long hitter also. So you'll kind of see my trend as we go through this picks, as I really think the longer hitters will dominate the tournament. And Sahith Theegala at 90-1. He's, again, a long hitter. He had some success middle of the summer at Travelers up there in Hartford. So a little bit of the same type of terrain that the guy likes playing in the bent. So I like him as our third pick. And our ham sandwich long shot pick this week is Trey Mullinax at 125-1. He finished tied for 6th last week. He's top 15 in distance on the PGA Tour, and he had some success early in Rocket Mortgage. So his game is, doesn't really matter too much for him, whether it's Bermuda or bent. So I really like Trey as our ham sandwich pick at 125-1. 2 top 10s this week. I like Matthew Fitzpatrick at plus 145, kind of short odds. But if you look at success in Boston, winning the U.S. Open, it's real familiar terrain, territory again. Longer hitter that he lends he's on the top probably 50% in long hitters on the PGA Tour. So I like him as our first top 10. Taylor Pendrith at plus 550, Canadian guy, long hitter, very familiar with the bent grass scenarios up there in Wilmington. 2 top 20s this week. Brandon Steele at friend of the show, plus 320. I like his kind of overall game. He didn't play well last week. I think he had some issues with the heat there, but he played solid in the first round. So I like it, a little bounce back week for Brandon Steele at plus 325. And Wyndham Clark at plus 360 to finish in the top 20, one of the longest hitters on the PGA Tour. And again, the guy's just kind of due to win. He's had a real good streak this summer. So I look for him to finish in that top 20.
All right, good picks. Breaking it down by grass. I like that. That's the type of strategy that we like here in our betting, and only Johnny's going to give it to you. Horticulturist at heart, he really is. So, what did you cash last week? What did you bet with Zalatoris was what 40-1?
We got him at 28-1 actually.
Okay.
So we bet him a little later on in the week, so that got our profit total over the $20,000 mark. So
nice.
We're at 22,135 profit from the year. We also went 2-0 in our matchups, so that gave us we're 83-48 on matchups this year.
Nice.
Going through the Saturdays and Sundays. So that was our 7th win of the season, and our my co-host from the Rough podcast told me that we finished second 6 times on top of our 7th win for the year. So if you combine those, we almost had we could have had potentially 13 wins. So it's been a solid year. There's a lot more golf left, so we're looking forward to continue the success this week up north of Wilmington Country Club.
All right, my friend, good stuff. Real quickly, what did you make of the whole Cam Smith thing this week? I mean, you've been out there on tour and dealt with penalties and stuff like that. That seemed really, really nitpicky and chintzy, and given the whole situation with him and what Scotty Scheffler did. Like, I'm not a fan of live golf. I know you're not either, but that's not a good look for golf. What did you make of that?
Yeah, it's a bad look. A lot of those times, if you sign an incorrect scorecard for a higher score and you sign it and you turn it in, that's your score going into the next day, right? So I think they have to adjust that rule a little bit.
Yeah.
I think once the day's over. And these guys, looking on TV and saying, hey, listen, your ball touched the hazard line. I mean, the ruling is that you have to take complete relief from the hazard and or cart path, right? So the ruling was correct, but just kind of the incident of, a little ironic that it was Cam Smith, right? Just all the BS that's going on with Live Golf. But, I think the weirder part, he took this week off citing a hip injury. I don't know if there's a hip in that mind, or he's just wore out, or, what's going on with him, but I don't think it's a hip injury. I think he's just worn out with answering all the questions.
Yeah, I don't blame him. All right, good stuff, Johnny. Appreciate it. And good luck this weekend on your betting. And I'll be tweeting out your picks here in a little bit. So hopefully people can make some money again this week. Thanks for the winner. Appreciate it.
All right. Appreciate you having me on, buddy. Thanks.
John Gerber right there, and we'll tweet that out for you. All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, Chris Lugo is going to join us from Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Guys, if you're looking to lose weight, lean up, the best in the business is going to tell us what he does to help his patients, including some of the top pilots out there in our military. So stay with us. Chris Lugo coming up next.
Are you concerned your spouse might be cheating, or want to locate a long-lost relative or love? Or a missing person and the police are not helping? An insurance adjuster who needs proof of injury. Hi, I'm Rachel D'Antonio from Tampa Bay's premier private investigation agency, Emerging Investigation. We have a proven track record of results. Local attorneys and insurance companies hire us to discover insurance fraud and crucial information in criminal cases. We can help in custody matters, and we devote a tremendous state-of-the-art technology and cutting-edge industry surveillance techniques to get you trusted results. Larger corporate agencies can be more expensive and do not offer the personal level of customer service and interaction that we pride ourselves on. We are a family-owned business. Our professional experience team includes my son, lead investigator Zach D'Antonio, a former collegiate athlete, and my daughter Emily, who leads our in-house investigations team. Don't take matters into your own hands by trying to install snooping programs on phones or GPS trackers. That can cause unneeded stress and give you inaccurate results. Go with the professionals at Emerging Investigations. We have proven results and tremendous testimonials from our satisfied customers. Call for a free consultation and we can discuss how we can help. Peace of mind is as valuable as bad news. Just go to our website, emerginginv.com, or call 813-291-FACT. That's emerginginv.com. We're Emerging Investigations. We get results in life's biggest matters.
Let's go. Right now, back to the show with JP on FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at Italiano Insurance. We'll tell you more about them in a little bit. Right now, we want to bring in one of our other great sponsors from Bay Area Modern Medical Center. Chris Lugo joins us here. Chris, how you doing?
Unbelievable. And yourself?
Fantastic. It's always great to have you on and give the
Thanks
folks
so much for having me.
Yeah, last time you gave us some great information on COVID, and we want to talk about weight loss now because during COVID, so many people gain a lot of weight. And
COVID-19, yeah, that's what we call it.
Exactly. So there's so much out there these days to lose weight, so much information out there. I know there's a lot of chiropractors out there that are pushing things, and a lot of it are fad diets or worse, drugs that you take that work initially but don't give you long-term results. So tell us a little bit about your approach and what you've learned.
Yeah, so I mean, the chiropractor thing is huge. I mean, there's a couple out there that are really well known out there. They can't make money off of adjusting backs, so they're going to make money off of telling you to eat 500 calories a day and take a whole bunch of supplements, which is not sustainable. As I'd say, hey, I'm going to give you a fish and you're going to eat for a day, or you can come to me and I will teach you how to fish and you can eat for life. What would you rather do?
Yeah.
So there's a few different meds out there. Some of these diabetic new medications out there, these GLPs are out there, which are really good. They've got some side effects to them, but once you get used to the side effects, you're going to lose the weight, and it's going to teach you how to fish, as I would say. So you're going to eat for life, and it's going to change your lifestyle, how you eat and what you eat. How does that work?
Give me a little bit more information on that.
So these GLPs, Ozempic's probably the best one out there. Everybody knows the little jingle and the commercials out there. It's how it's doing is actually it's raising your insulin levels. It's kind of making you have that satiety, feeling a little fuller, a little quicker. Gives you a little bit of nausea. That's going to be a big thing. My ladies will tell me, hey, it's like having morning sickness. They'll have it for the first couple of days after the injection, and then after the rest of the week, they're doing pretty good. They feel hungry, but once they start eating, they're like, I'm done. I've already had enough. So the downside about this, let's talk about the dirty stuff with this, because there's no beautiful drug out there. The downside, what I'm seeing is some of my ladies are losing lean muscle mass. And as I would say, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. So I really stress, hey, we're going to do this medication. It's going to work really well for us, but you've got to weight train. You've got to weight train. You've got to weight train, because the ladies are coming to see me. They're usually in their 40s and 50s. And by that time, you're losing lean muscle mass already because of hormone changes. You don't need to lose them more, because it's going to lead to osteopenia and osteoporosis.
All right, let's talk a little bit about the guys now. If guys, if they've been working out, maybe they just want to lean up. What's your best advice for doing that?
Well,
that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Abs are made in the kitchen, not in the gym, right? So I love TRT, love it. Been on it for years. Myself, I don't look like a guy who's on TRT. I don't care if you call it HRT, TRT, steroids. It's all the same thing. You can put lipstick on a pig. It's still a pig. The difference is, hey, are you doing it with the guidance, or you're not doing it with guidance? TRT is not the fountain of youth, though. If you're not eating good, you're not sleeping good, you're not working out, you're not going to see a difference being on T. You got to hit those pillars of health in order to see the differences. Look at Jeff Bezos. The guy is ripped, right? Got a new girlfriend. She's pretty hot, right? So things you'll do, but he's on some
either,
right? He's on some product. I guarantee he's doing some tea and probably some other things, but he's putting time in the gym. You've got to put time in the gym in order to get the results.
So I was reading an article the other day that testosterone in American men especially is way down. And with older men, we kind of get that. But I was shocked at finding out that ages 16 to 39, a dramatic loss in what American men used to have. And we talked a little bit about this. It's diet, it's stress, it's a lot of stuff in our, tell us a little bit about that. And so it's not just older guys that need TRT, it's younger guys too. Nick might need it.
Nick probably needs some. I'm just kidding, Nick. No, the big thing really, truly is sleep. It really is. Sleep is huge right now. And people don't realize that. I get a lot of guys come to my practice and I'll ask them, hey, how's sleep? Do you snore? Do you have sleep apnea? Oh, yeah, I snore like a freight train. Well, I'm like, you're not getting good restful sleep. You're not getting that good peak of testosterone from when you sleep. That diurnal effect that we talk about in med school and all that, it's true for the young population. These kids today live on these phones. They're in their bedrooms. They're sneaking it. When you and I were a kid, we didn't have phones. We were probably watching TV, but we didn't have TVs in the bedroom. Yeah. All right. So, but these kids aren't sleeping today, and that's why they're not getting that good spike of testosterone. And I'm hearing young girls, 9 years old, having periods right now that starting their cycles. It's crazy.
And is that from lack of sleep, or what is that from?
That's just craziness going on in lifestyle. Who knows what's going on? I don't know if it's food. I don't know if it's sleep. It could be multifactorial.
Hormones in the food. Yeah. Chris Lugo joining us here from Bay Area Modern Medical Center. And sleep is something that I struggle with as well. I think I'm tracking my sleep now. I have an app that I track my sleep on, and I'm getting like 4 or 5 hours a night. The deep sleep is not working. And I know my sleep. I need to do better at that. Tell us how we can get better at sleeping. Because I'm looking at my phone late at night. I'm watching TV. I'm probably doing stuff I shouldn't be doing. Give us some easy things that we could do to get more rest.
It's Occam's razor. It's really simple things that people just aren't doing. They're not putting down the phones. They're not getting away from the TV. Look, the bedroom should have a bed in it, but not a TV in it. The bedroom is for sex and the bedroom is for sleep, not for anything else. And you're sitting there watching TV and Netflix and binging all night long. It's not helping you. You got to get in a routine. If you want to use some supplements, use some supplements. I like tryptophan. I like GABA. I like magnesium and I can help you sleep. Take a hot shower, get into a cold bed. I personally use an 8-sleep mattress pad, which cools my bed down. It's expensive as shit. I'm not going to lie to you, but it really makes a difference. And I sync it with my app when I wake up, what was good, what was bad. In medicine, we say, what is measured is managed. I use an Oura ring. I track my sleep with that. It's you gotta track the numbers. So this is Oura ring. This is the 3rd generation ring. It's got some monitors on it. It tracks my heart rate variability, tracks my heart rate, my temperature, my breathing. It gives you great feedback. This has changed how I drink alcohol. This has changed how I eat food. But if you're not going to change your lifestyle because of these metrics, don't do them. But you got to make a routine.
Yeah, it's interesting you mentioned that because I just got the Halo band. which is similar to that, right? You get the Aura Ring, it gives you a biofeedback, right? The Halo is the one that I just got. I haven't, to be honest with you, I haven't used it to what it should be set up for. But do you recommend these things because it's giving you the feedback?
I do. I like the Whoop bracelet also. What I don't like about Whoop is it's on my wrist. Okay, I don't like to wear stuff around my wrist when I'm sleeping, and it's a subscription. I got to pay $30 a month for that data. Now, I'll be honest with you. Or just recently brought on Matthew Walker, PhD. I have a book sitting on my desk right now, Why We Sleep. I always recommend reading that book. It will change how your thoughts on sleep. But they took a little page from their playbook from Whoop, and now they charge a $6 a month for the data from this. Now, I've had the first generation, the second generation ring. I'm grandfathered in, quote unquote. But $6 a month is not bad for the data.
Yeah. And it's important, and it'll help you get in a sleeping routine. That's going to help you. I mean, and I know athletes are talking about this all the time now. It's rest. And, and these are obviously professional athletes, but for us, it's just as important, right?
Yeah. Athletes are talking about recovery, right? They're all about recovery, and sleep is part of that recovery. Rest. It's huge. It's ingrained in our DNA. A third of our life is spent sleeping. Why? It's important. Okay. I can dive into the reasons why. That's a different podcast on why sleep is really important. Well, maybe we'll talk about a different podcast, but sleep is huge. And if you're not sleeping good, you're not going to see a difference being on TRT. You won't.
All right, let's talk about preventative care. Because there's, now we're hearing about the monkeypox. We're hearing about all these different viruses. And obviously we've been through COVID. Keeping your immune system up and your weight down, obviously, is going to be huge in fighting future viruses, right? So talk a little bit about preventative care that you guys do.
Yeah, the preventative care is huge. And sleep is part of that. Sleep is part of that pillar of health. Exercising, part of that pillar of health. Zone 2 training, 3 days a week, an hour a day. Zone 2 training is huge. I'm using that a lot for my patients who are recovering from long haul COVID.
What is Zone 2 training?
Zone 2 training is going to be different for everybody, but Zone 2 training basically is getting that heart rate between that 100, 130, depending on your age, and you sustaining that heart rate for roughly about an hour. So a lot of your Tour de France, your professional cyclists really work that Zone 2 training, and then they'll work that Zone 5. But Zone 2 training is really huge for mitochondrial dysfunction, which we're seeing a lot of for that long haul COVID.
Okay.
But I like supplements. I like vitamin D. It's huge. 5 to 10,000 international units a day. Zinc, vitamin C, quercetin. They've all been proven in multiple studies to help with viral infections. The monkeypox thing, look, we got about 13,000 cases, give or take, plus or minus, right now that reported. We got about 1,200, I believe, here in the state of Florida. I'm not too overly concerned. It's a lot of skin-to-skin contact is how it's transmitted. It's not like COVID whatsoever, so I'm not too overtly concerned. I haven't seen any monkeypox in the hospital, personally myself, in the ICU, nor have I seen any colleagues talking about it.
All right, so that's and COVID is still out there, obviously, and I know you treat it. And we've been telling people if you get a COVID diagnosis, so many people think that there's nothing they can do. And literally emergency room doctors telling people, there's nothing we can really give you. And that's not true. It's not true.
Not true at all. No, not true at all. Unfortunately, it's not true. But we have to do some treatments out there. Yes, I'm a big ivermectin fan. It does work. It's binding up these proteins so it doesn't get inside the cell. But the vitamin regimen we just talked about, that's huge. It's part of it. And a lot of the symptoms I'm seeing recently, oh my God, I just tested positive. What's your symptoms? Oh, I just feel a little tired and otherwise stuffy nose. I'm like, you're okay then. No reason to intervene at this point in time. But the symptoms recently for COVID have been a lot more mild. There are a few cases here and there that are worse, but for the most part, mild symptoms.
We're seeing a little bit of talk in social media about vaccines and vaccine injuries. If some people have taken vaccines, should they be worried at all? Is there anything they can do to check up and see if they're okay? What advice would you have for them?
Look, I'm not an anti-vaxxer by any means. I'm in the military still, as you know, and we love vaccines in the military. As you stand up in a line and you'll get jabbed 4 or 5 different times. A lot of these vaccines have been out for years, decades at this point in time. They take 5 to 10 years to develop and come to market. These recent vaccines that have come out to market pretty quickly. But no, I don't think we should have this overt sense that some vaccines, but there's a big push for vaccines right now. As long as it's tried and true, I'm okay with the numbers. But something that comes to market a little too quickly and not proven, I'm not too quick on jumping on board.
Well, this has been great information, Chris. Tell the folks how they can get in touch with you, and we'll put this podcast up. So if you missed anything, and we went through a lot of information, so you can go back and listen to it, write some stuff down, because I think it's great information. How do they get in touch with you?
Yeah, go online, BAMMC, Bravo Alpha Mike Charlie.com. Book an appointment right online. You don't need to call me. Some people want to make an appointment at 10 o'clock at night. I'm not going to answer the phone at 10 o'clock at night, but it's easy. Go to online. You'll see the schedule. We'll see what works best for you. Or call the office. 844-789-2266 is the alternate number there that you've got also. But yeah, let's talk. Let's chat. You got some questions. We can chat about them.
Yeah, it's a lot of interesting stuff going on now. Thanks for the information, Chris. Appreciate you.
Thanks, JP. Thanks, Nick.
All right, we'll talk soon. Thanks, buddy. Sleep is so important these days. So important. And I know personally I'm not getting, and I know you're not getting enough either.
How do you know? How do you know that?
I know. We talk about it. We both stay up late, binging shows and looking at our phone, and I literally fall asleep tweeting sometimes. Like I wake up, the phone's in my chest. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Put
the damn phone away.
I have the habit of I'm the 3 o'clock in the middle of the night. I wake up.
Yeah.
And I can't get back to sleep.
Yeah, because you pick up your phone.
No, I check in. I
do the same thing.
I got some Twitter notifications I want to look at. I want to see what's going on in the soccer world, because at that time, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning, that's where all my soccer news is coming from over in Europe.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, I got a new slate of news to go through.
And you know, and you think like it's not a big deal, but it is. It is a big deal in terms of your health. And as you get older, and just, you know, it reduces your testosterone. It's so bad. Sleeping is really becoming, you know, people are starting to become a lot more cognizant of how important it is for your overall health. And I know I can improve tremendously in that regard. So I'm looking forward to working with Bay Area Modern Medical Center and getting my sleep in a better situation. I like that Aura ring too. That does, I mean, even though I'm getting a little bit of feedback on my sleep now, it can be better. And it when you get more feedback, I think it helps you get into a better routine when you start seeing results. So that's a big reason to do it. All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back on the other side. We'll catch up with the Bucs and the Titans. Dan Lucas is going to join us at 11:15. Will Turner coming up at 11:30. We're going to talk some USF football as they've named their starter in Gary Bohannon, and Timmy McClain is gone. And Bob Herrick's going to join us, senior golf writer at Sports Illustrated, our good friend, to find out what's going on in the big players-only meeting that happened on the PGA Tour last night with Tiger. So lots coming in the 11 o'clock hour. Stay with us. The world economy is in chaos, and mortgage rates are going to go higher in the next few months. Meanwhile, home values are up 24% in some neighborhoods of Tampa Bay. Do not miss this opportunity to refinance your home, get some much-needed cash to handle skyrocketing inflation, and fill up your car. Contact Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Even if you've recently refinanced, Scott can make the deal work because he charges no lender fees like the big boys do. He will also shop your loan around to dozens of lenders and get the best rates and terms. Let them compete for your business. The big banks charge huge lending fees. Customer service is simply a phone number with endless wait times. Scott is local and will personally take your call. Here's his cell phone number. Tell him JP said you could call. 813-294-7595. Scott's done over 3,000 loans, including many coaches and athletes. He will answer your calls and concerns and give you workable strategies to be smart with your money. Reduce your payments. It's not just what you make, it's what you keep. 813-294-7595 or email him at scott@amstampa.com. JP here for Emerging Investigations, Tampa Bay's premier investigation agency. Do you suspect your spouse is cheating or involved in a divorce, that your spouse is hiding money, an ex-employee or current employee with suspicious behavior? Is there a criminal matter you need help with? If you need information you can count on, using the professionals at Emerging Investigations is a slam dunk. Emerging Investigations is a licensed and insured private investigation agency, family-owned. Emerging is your ideal resource to secure evidence and validation, allowing you to make informed decisions in life's biggest matters. Led by industry executive Brian D'Antonio, Emerging possesses the experience and resources to get needed results. Emerging Investigations maintains an excellent reputation as a premier investigation agency. They are known for results. You're not just hiring a PI, but an organized, dedicated team using state-of-the-art technology. Their proven investigative methods produce crucial information used in criminal cases, insurance fraud, and personal injury claims. Many local attorneys, industry agencies, and your concerned neighbors all count on Emerging Investigations. Just go to their website, emerginginv.com, or call 813-291-FACT. That's 813-291-FACT-3228. Get results you can trust in life's biggest matters. Emerging investigations. Military veterans, are you struggling with alcoholism or substance abuse? Is it taking a toll on your relationships and your work life? Are you having trouble focusing? Constantly anxious? Well, you may not be surprised to know that your fellow military vets have your six. Heroes Mile is a new concept in rehabilitation clinics. Veterans helping veterans. At Heroes Mile, we staff our rehab center with fellow veterans who can understand what you're going through. Our mission is to help you heal from issues that only your fellow veterans can truly understand. Located just outside of DeLand, we offer a full range of inpatient and outpatient programs dealing with substance abuse, post-traumatic stress, and military sexual trauma. We choose to serve veterans because we know how complex these issues are. You could choose to fight the battle alone or win the war together. We are the community care provider with the VA and also accept most major insurance. At Heroes Mile Rehabilitation Center, we have your six. Go to heroesmile.com or call 888-VET-NOW-2. That's heroesmile.com or call 888-VET-NOW-2.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's rock. This is FanStream Sports with JP.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by the great folks at the Gold and Diamond Source. Hey, guys, lots of guys' jewelry over there as well. If you're looking for a fashion ring or a gold chain or a Rolex watch, something like that, and they've got all the different baller watches there. Go check that, the great selection they have at the Gold and Diamond Source. Get you a nicely used one or a brand new one, whatever you want over there. They've got it all for you. If you're looking for an engagement ring, you know that is the place to go. It is a kind of a crazy experience, so go somewhere where you're in good hands, and they're not going to take you for a ride, because that's pretty much what they do at most jewelry stores. It's a big purchase, but if you go to the Gold and Diamond Source, you can trust them that you're getting what they say you're getting: the cut, the clarity, the carat, all that. So you need an honest jeweler first and foremost, and of course the Gold and Diamond Source has been there for decades, and they're not going anywhere, and they're a great community partner. So great place to shop. It's the Gold and Diamond Source, 3800 Overton Road, always online at thegoldendiamondsource.com. I got to get my camera back up there. Thank you, Mr. Producer there. All right, before we get to Dan Lucas at 11:15 up in Nashville, a couple other stories we want to get to. AB is tweeting again. He says Tom Brady manipulates the game, gets 14 days to go home and get his mind right. LOL. Now you see the difference. Put that shit on his new song. You don't want to miss that, right? No. God, it's so awful. Shut up. I know we shouldn't be bringing this up, but it's just like this guy, he really thinks that he should be treated the same way Tom Brady is treated. Like, really? The guy just quits in the middle of a game, and he's supposed to be able to get we'll trust you, AB. Go take a couple weeks off. You'll be fine. Ridiculousness. And I guess now he's talking about Alex Guerrero, Tom Brady's personal physical therapist, I guess you call him. You think I won't? He says, Alex Guerrero, you think I won't have you smacked at TB12? Boy, stop playing with me. Boy, getting paid by Bucs and taking players' money too. So now he's going to come meddle in the Bucs business. Tom, you invited this in. Tom Brady. You think he regrets it at all? I mean, they did win a Super Bowl with him.
No, you won a Super Bowl with him.
Yeah, so it's all good.
It's all good.
Yeah.
But can you believe this guy was actually a Buck? Not even a full year ago.
If he just kept it together for a few more months, might have got back-to-back Super Bowls.
Listen, I mean, he knows he's never playing a down of football again.
Well, the Cowboys could really use him. Can you imagine him going there?
Oh, my gosh.
That would be perfect. That would be great theater. That would be so good.
You would have to turn off Get Up First Take every single day.
How could Jerry Jones he's got to be salivating to do that, to make this move.
He's not.
Yes.
No, he's
yes,
not.
he is, because he wants attention.
No, he's not.
He wants attention more than anything else. What would bring more? What a circus that would be. What a absolute
week 1 would be
circus.
fantastic.
I know it would. So he'd sign for next to nothing to come just to play against the Buccaneers. I would listen, as much as I hate the dude and all he does, I got to tell you, this is entertainment, and it would add to it would be a circus atmosphere.
No, he's like I said, there's a code in the NFL, and I don't think shit talking, I guess, would be the right way to describe it, on Twitter about the best of the best that this league has to offer. I don't think that's kind of part of the code here of getting you opportunities around the league. I just don't think so. Because if he's talking about him, what's he saying about everybody else?
Well, quitting on your team mid-game,
that's already bad enough.
Mid-season is the worst thing you could possibly do. What he did, whatever he puts on Twitter is meaningless compared to that. And why any team would want to bring that in, I have no idea. But I would just love
forcing his way out of the Raiders before even playing a game.
But I would love to see it. I would love to see it. The Cowboys go, one more receiver goes down. You never know.
No.
That'd be hilarious. So Elon Musk started a huge kerfuffle last night by tweeting out, "I'm also buying Manchester United. You're welcome." But he was joking.
He said he was joking, but he said if he was ever going to buy a club, he would buy Manchester United. And there's the report today from Business Bloomberg that the Glazers are interested in selling a minority stake in Manchester United. And if they would sell the whole thing, it would take a $6 billion offer to get it done.
Which is pocket change for him.
Well, he didn't have to spend $43 million
to buy Twitter
on a social media company.
Right.
So he's got all that money in the bank.
Yeah. I sure wish he still would. That would be nice.
I could care less.
Yeah, and evidently that's going to court as well to find out exactly how many bots are on Twitter.
Hey, if he wants to buy Manchester United, I'm here for it.
Oh, everybody
We're all here for it.
Everybody is. I mean,
Please.
except maybe the Glazers, who are making a lot of money off Manchester United.
The Glazers need to cave. They need to cave. You need to cave. There should be a rule that if there's not a single person in your fan base that likes you, you need to get out. You need to get out.
Well, the same goes for Stu Sternberg.
There are people in this fan base that like him.
Yeah.
And the difference is the Rays win, so it helps.
Exactly.
Manchester United doesn't win.
Yeah. If you win, it solves a lot of issues.
If
you can
Manchester
be the worst
United
owner in
winning,
the world as long as you
listen,
win.
Glazers have owned Manchester United since 2005, I think.
Mhm.
Manchester United won titles after that. When they stopped winning titles, guess who became the scapegoat? The Glazers.
The Glazers. Yeah, but again, you can point to decisions that they have made financially, and I don't know enough about it, but I read a little bit about it the other day of what they've taken out in terms of dividends.
No other team does that.
Exactly. So there's a big, red flag right there that people can point to that they're doing that other teams don't do. So it's kind of like what should be going on with Sternberg in my mind. He does things that nobody else does. And never gets, we don't have a fan uprising like we do in Man United. We should, but we don't. But that's because we win. We're still winning.
Yeah.
And that's
why people are going to accept it, because you're winning. If the Rays were if the Rays were getting the same results as an Oakland A's this year,
right?
How the Marlins did for about 5 years, it'd be a totally different story.
You start giving the side eye to the owner, but they're not. I mean, and you got to give him credit for that. But still, as a fan, it's more, for a fan base, it's more than about just win. I will say this. Our friend AJ on Twitter, he won the trivia contest last night. Did you see that? And they put it up on Bally's.
The Fred McGriff, right?
Yeah, Fred McGriff hit the first Rays home run in Yankee Stadium. So he got it right, and they put up his Twitter profile and his avatar. And in his avatar, he's got the red clown nose on, which is a shot at Stu Sternberg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that they put it up on TV. Somebody's getting fired at Bally's. Somebody's getting fired. But they put it up on that's like Biden going, yeah, let's go, Brandon. It's the same. It's the same
what are they going to do? You're like, no, we can't put him up here.
You didn't have to put up the avatar. Nobody noticed. They slipped it by him.
Well, shout out AJ at the Trop.
Yeah, shout out AJ. Well done, buddy.
Thanks for being a loyal listener. Of the
yeah,
show
man.
well.
We love you. We definitely had to shout that out. We're going to put it up on Twitter. Might have to get AJ on the show for that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
literally.
absolutely. All right, AJ. Shout out to you, buddy. We got to get you on the show. Oh, look at that. That's Yoke Yandy on Twitter, heading out of the Bronx with 2 wins and a Series W in our pocket with a possible sweep tomorrow. And me and Stu are jacked about it. So Stu's going to the games in the Bronx. It's up there for the Yankees race. It's right around the corner.
What is it? Got to hop on the trolley and he's there?
Yeah, absolutely. All right. What else? Aaron Rodgers. Do you have the Aaron Rodgers audio?
I do have the Aaron Rodgers audio.
Before we get to Dan Lucas.
Who's getting weirder and weirder by the day, by the way.
He's, as you said, he's going to become Jake Plummer when he's done. Who we had out in Super Bowl was awesome. Jake started a mushrooms company.
The resemblance of the two.
The microdosing
is becoming
which he told me he was going to send me. I gotta get my free microdosing. Yeah. I don't know if they can send me that in the mail. I don't know how that works.
Here was Mr. Rodgers yesterday.
Yeah, he's pissed at his young receivers.
Unfortunately, some of the same guys. That's repeat mistakes are a problem. So we just got to clean those things up a little bit. The young guys, they got to, especially young receivers, we got to be way more consistent. A lot of drops, a lot of bad route decisions, run the wrong route. So we gotta get better in that area.
So the guy that took forever to sign his contract and basically lost Devontae Adams, his best receiver, because of all the money that he wanted, is now bitching about the young receivers. Is that how this is working?
Yes.
Okay. I'm sorry.
But his tone was a lot different when camp started.
Yeah.
And now he's starting to see them more in action. He saw them up in the preseason. He didn't throw to them, but he saw them. And now his tone has completely changed on his young receiving core.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly enough. And what would you say he keeps a bust of Nicolas Cage in his locker?
So random. Like he keeps a bust of Nicolas Cage in his locker.
If there was a movie about Aaron Rodgers, Nicolas Cage should play him.
Well, did you ever see the photo when he came to camp this year? He was dressed in the wife beater.
Oh, yeah.
And he dressed up as Nicolas Cage in that movie. I can't even think of the name of it right now.
Yeah.
Whatever. I think it was like.
Aren't you so glad that we don't have that going on here?
I really am. He's a weird cat.
Yes.
And then the whole psychedelic drug thing that's going on with him.
Yeah, what is that stuff that he took, though?
I can't even pronounce it, but it's some kind of psychedelic drug, and he was talking just full on hippie mode about, I found happiness, and I learned how to love myself and love others, and then I had my 2 MVP years on it, and I truly believe it helped me. Just
listen.
To each their own. Don't get me wrong. But
I think he's got something there. I think there's something to that.
He's just an interesting dude to me.
Yeah. Expand your mind. You never know where it might take you. I'm not promoting illegal drugs on the show. It's not what I'm saying at all. I think that stuff's legal. But anyway, that's the part of him that I think is very, very interesting. All right, quick break. When we come back, Dan Lucas is going to join us, News Channel 8, live from practice. There's already been a Trask interception sighting that I read on Twitter. So we'll catch up with Dan, find out what's going on up in Music City. Stay with us. Italiano Insurance has been serving and working in our community for over 60 years, and it's not just about insuring all the pieces of your life. Italiano is as much a part of Tampa Bay as the Cuban sandwich, Gasparilla, and our Bucs, Lightning, and Rays. They're also active.
The Heroes Mile program.
Hi, I'm Bill Lennox, retired Lieutenant General, United States Army. If you have any challenges in alcohol, drug, if you have PTSD, MST, think about Heroes Mile.
Heroes Mile, a recovery center for veterans by veterans. Call 1-888-VET-NOW2 to learn more or visit heroesmile.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Bay Area Modern Medical Center in our second hour and Emerging Investigations. You can find them at emerginginv.com, Tampa Bay's premier private investigation agency. All right, let's investigate what's going on up there in Nashville. Oh, I can hear the natural sound right now. Dan Lucas, WFLA, joining us here. What's up, partner? How are you?
We got a little camp soundtrack going on out here.
Love
Two
it.
teams going at it. It's a gorgeous morning. It's hot, but not Tampa hot.
Right.
So it's really nice out here. And we've already had a little action. The two teams have gotten together for 7-on-7s on one field. You got D-line and O-line on the other field for both teams.
Nice.
And we've already had some pushing and shoving with the second lineup. Mick Leverett got really beat badly on 2 plays in a row. And there was some words exchanged, and the two lines came together, and somebody shouted, "Get back on the practice squad." I don't know who that was.
Ooh.
But, yeah, that's day one.
It's fun. And I think I saw on Twitter there's already been a Trask interception. By law, we have to have at least one a day. Are you watching any of that?
I'm making my way over to that field right now, but during the individual period, Blaine Gabbert looked pretty good, making some good balls over the shoulder. And but there were a lot of drops by the Bucs receivers.
Oh.
So hopefully they're going to get things going here a little bit as we get some momentum going in practice.
Is it weird that Brady's not there? Does anybody even talking about it, or is it just, whatever, he's not here?
I think, yeah, it is weird to answer the question, but I think it's, everybody's kind of moving on from it. As I stand here and watch the field, it's weird not having him here.
There you go.
But now practice is just going on. You don't think much about it at all. It's ones versus ones. So, but I don't know. To me, my own opinion, there's just kind of a weird air hanging over this.
Yeah.
Right now while he's gone. And when he comes back, maybe it gets back to normal. We'll see. But, if he doesn't come back and perform well, there's going to be questions and questions and questions for sure. And that's the last thing this team needs is that kind of drama.
Yeah. Yeah. And do you have any inside information or anything that you've heard on why Brady is away, or just your take on the whole thing, given what's happened here in the off season?
No, just, the staged family's photo the other day that was on Twitter. But no, heard nothing. And I don't think it's disturbing to hear nothing, but I think it's just a sign that this is hush hush. And when this was first announced, the big problem I had was, all the things that he said and says about team. You got to be 100% into it. This is when he's needed the most. And, no matter what's arranged, unless it's something that's unavoidable, I just don't, I don't know why a guy would leave a team like that at this time.
Yeah, it's a little bizarre. I thought maybe it was a little bit of arm maintenance. Maybe he's having a little, soreness. Who knows? Maybe it was something that they just planned on doing to get him off the field for a couple of weeks. That makes sense to me, quite frankly, but I guess we'll find out when he gets back. Any other observations going on there right in front of you? Anything you've seen earlier this morning?
Well, we got on the field that I'm standing in front of where the Bucs quarterbacks are. We got looks like the number one offense here going against the number one Titans defense, and I'm trying to count to see if this is 11. Got officials out here, so they're going to make sure they flag everything, so there won't be any shenanigans. But yeah, this is going to be the starting O-line going up against the Titans starters here in the next probably 60 seconds while they're getting ready to run a play. So
we'll get it.
Yeah, they're going at it here. Yeah, you get the play-by-play. I'll do my best Deckerhoff for you.
Well, I'm sure you're watching. I'm sure you're watching number 70 there, Robert Hainsey, going up against Pro Bowler Jeffrey Simmons. If they got the ones versus the ones.
Yeah, they are. And here's Gabbert over the center as we speak. So
let's give a
in motion.
Yeah,
Tyler Johnson in motion. And he's back to pass. Pocket collapses, and that's a sack. Whistles are blown. That's a sack. Okay. That play didn't work out too well.
All right.
It looked like it. Well, he went play action to Fournette, to Lenny,
mm-hmm.
and I don't think the route developed yet. I think it was a coverage sack.
So
we'll call it a coverage sack.
Not good early on for Bucs offensive line, which is, to me, that's one of the big things I've been watching. I watched in the joint practices last week was Robert Hainsey and how he stood up, and I thought he stood up pretty well. I thought he played really well in the game as well. What are your thoughts on the center position?
Well, I think it's in pretty good hands with Hainsey. I think he snapped the ball well, and that's another reason why I was a little concerned about Brady leaving camp, because we talk about the relationship with the receivers, and I think the relationship with Hainsey is even more critical. And he's how many 100 reps, 100 snaps, maybe more being lost between those two guys. By the way, Lenny went left side right over Aaron Stinney, who's starting at left guard in today's practice. And a nice hole from Donovan Smith and Aaron Stinney.
Nice.
So here's a play to the right that got kind of snuffed out. I'm trying to see who that was. It's Scotty Miller on an end around here. And yeah, Scotty Miller couldn't get to the edge.
No.
But, so we'll give and take there. That run by Fournette went well. Got to the second level, by the way, so that was a good play.
Do you think?
Yeah, it's not all bad. It's not all bad.
Well, it's good. That's what we need to hear. This is great play-by-play. This is awesome. Thank you, Dan Lucas, for doing this.
I didn't do it like Decker. We have a first down.
like he made a trap block on the inside, right?
Exactly.
Dan Lucas joining us here.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one more here. It's Gabbert. Good little pass out to the side. That play looked like it got snuffed up, but it was a good catch and run.
Who caught it?
So the Bucs offense 2 for 2. That was Julio.
Julio's out there playing. All right, nice.
Stomping ground, yeah. I'm having stomping ground.
I'm sure there's.
So that play went to the right, and that would have easily been about maybe 10 yards. All right, now the twos are in with Trask. Oh, boy's going deep down the middle. It's a catch. All right, he completed it.
Caught by who?
Deep down the middle, Kyle Trask. Not Julio.
Okay.
That was Vincent Smith. If you had to refer to your roster, so did I.
Yes, very nice.
Number 81, Vincent Smith. That ball went right down the middle, and that was probably about a 30-yard gain. That was a good one.
Well, I'll give
you another Trask here too. Let's do this for another hour.
Sure, why not? We got time. Absolutely.
Exactly.
The accounts and
so
descriptions
Rashad
of this
White
game.
takes the handoff, goes left, gets stopped at the line. I got about a yard.
How do you like Rashad White? How do you like what you've seen from him?
Oh, you know what? So far, of the rookie class, I think he's the guy that has a chance to really not only get on the field a lot, but make a difference.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen, I thought it was cool that he was returning kicks the other night in the Dolphins game.
Yeah.
Even though Jalen Darden, I asked Jalen Darden after the game, are you tapping people on the shoulder to get in line for those returns? He goes, yeah.
So he's not going to he's not going to be the primary returner, Darden, or they're just looking at Rashad White to do a lot of different things.
I think they were just looking.
Yeah.
Because Darden didn't return no punts or kicks. So I would think that was by design, but that's Darden's niche. He had the great touchdown catch from Gabbert, but he's going to solidify his spot on special teams. They just need to get him in his spot.
Hey,
Jarrett Stearns, remember him? Jarrett Stearns, number 9, the guy who made that great catch from Trask.
Yeah,
he's lined up on the right side here. Let's see if this goes deep to him.
I think they're going to number 9.
So he's
the corner route.
Oh, 9. It's 9. Oh,
you called it
on the sideline.
You called it.
Sideline first. That was a 3rd and 6. Stearns gets the first down, moves the chains.
Look at
Wasn't he the guy who caught the 4th and 12 the other night against the Dolphins?
Yeah, I think it was him or Tompkins. Yeah.
I'm
loving
this guy.
Look at you going Tony Romo too, calling the play before it even happens. You went a little Tony Romo on us there. Right. We got to get you $20 million to do this broadcast as you're predicting this. That's fantastic. Yeah.
Exactly. So now you got Darden and Tyler Johnson lined up on the right side with the starting unit, and Gabbert's going to go to the left. Who caught that ball? Good catch.
This is awesome.
Who is that?
We got a fight.
Well, now there's a scuffle here in the line.
I knew it. I could tell by the whistles.
Scuffle. Shoving. No flags though. The officials are in their tiny black shorts today. Did not throw the flag.
Is Gedeke in the middle
These referees.
of
that? Let me see. No, Gedeke's not
67?
on the field. It's the real guys.
Oh, that hurt.
The real guys.
Hey, all right. So
you know what, JP, I stand corrected. Gedeke is in a left guard next to Donovan Smith.
I knew it.
And next to Robert Hainsey. So there you go.
Oh, there
you
go.
are correct on that.
Wow, they're giving him a little starting nod. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right. So
or at least some reps.
Before you go, what do you got coming up on the broadcast this weekend? Because I really enjoyed the broadcast. You, Chris Myers, Rondé Barber. I mean, these are our hometown folks. You guys do a great job. I look more forward to what you guys say than the actual fourth teamers playing. But what do you got? What do you got cooking for Saturday night on News Channel 8?
Well, we obviously the pregame show at 6:30, and the game's early. It's at 7:00 this time, not 7:30.
Okay.
So Rondé, hopefully we get to play a little bit more Rondé sit down with Todd Bowles.
Oh, nice.
I thought that was pretty insightful from Bowles. And then we're going to feature Carl Nassib, who's at his first practice today. He's wearing number 93.
Nice.
So that's going to be the big story of the day, Nassib. And then I'm going to talk to J.J. Russell, 51, inside linebacker. He made a couple of nice plays the other night.
Yeah.
So he's fighting for a spot on the team. And we just got to see who gets in this game. He said more starters are going to play.
Oh, good.
But I don't know what that means. But we'd like to know who. But there's going to be a few more guys that get in there. So I think you're going to get a little bit more of a better gauge, I guess, if you want to see how the team's going to be. But so it's going to be fun on Saturday night.
All right, we will tune in. Appreciate it, Dan. Great call there on the Tony Romo prediction one. That was fantastic. We'll be watching Saturday night, man. Thanks for taking the time and the great play-by-play. Appreciate it.
All right, JP, be good.
All right, we'll be watching tonight. They'll be live from Nashville on News Channel 8. A quick note there, by the way, my old Channel 8 family, I saw a bunch of them last night at the memorial service and celebration for life for my former colleague, Paul Lamison, who I worked very closely with for 10 years at Channel 8, passed away last week suddenly of a heart attack. And it was just a great celebration of life. He was one of the best in the business, tremendous photographer, videographer. You saw him up in the in Eagle 8, did a lot of that in the last few years. That was kind of his calling card. Big Rays fan, got to throw out a first pitch at the Rays game not long ago, and just tragic. He leaves behind I think 4 children, and Narisa, his wife, just a good friend of mine, and the whole family. Just it's a tragic thing when someone goes this early, especially one of the good guys. So rest in peace, my friend Paul Lamison, and thoughts and prayers going out to my Channel 8 family. Just great to see a lot of folks yesterday. Would much rather be under different circumstances, but I know Dan and Bob Hansen, who's up there in Nashville as well, worked a lot with Paul. Just one of the great guys, one of the great guys, and he will be sorely missed, not only by his family, but the Channel 8 family and everybody who watches him. Yeah, it's just a lot of that going on these days, and it's tragic. So anyway, we'll take a break. We'll come back on the other side, and Will Turner's going to join us, covers the USF Bulls. Big news yesterday. Gary Bohannon is their starter, and Timmy McClain is in the transfer portal. It's going to be a big year for USF. Their luncheon is today, by the way, so we'll chat with Will Turner when we come back. Stay with us. The world economy is in chaos, and mortgage rates are going to go also active supporters of great charities like the Humane Society, Metropolitan Ministries, and local pediatric cancer centers. Hey, we all need insurance, so do business with a local company with a commitment to our community. Don't call some 1-800 number. Call Italiano and be greeted by one of your neighbors. That's 813-877-7799 or ItalianoInsurance.com. Named the Small Business of the Year by the Tampa Chamber. 813-877-7799.
Pure Sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the JP Peterson Show, brought to you by Emerging Investigations. You can find them at emerginginv.com, Tampa Bay's premier investigation agency. If you want to find out some information about your spouse, an employee, or have a criminal matter, they are the folks to go to for trusted results. Many local attorneys, insurance agencies, and your concerned neighbors all count on Emerging Investigations to get the facts. So go to their website, emerginginv.com, or call 813-291-FACT. That's 813-291-FACT. All right, let's welcome in our good friend Will Turner from at 247 Bulls, covers the USF football team. We'll be having their big luncheon today at Armature Works. What's up, Will? How are you?
Hey, JP. Good to hear from you again. Happy to be back on. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I tweeted it out last night. I think it's going to be a special season for the Bulls. I just got that feeling. They got a experienced quarterback in Gary Bohannon who's done it at a high level. Tell me your thoughts on naming him the starter, what you've seen.
Yeah, it's he comes in from Baylor with that experience of winning a Big 12 championship, of winning a Sugar Bowl, of turning a program around. Baylor was 2-7 in 2020 and went 12-2 in 2021. So it was a big turnaround, something that Jeff Scott has used for a design, as what he wants to turn USF around into. So, you use that example, and he said yesterday, if you could get the guy that helped orchestrate that turnaround, it was a no-brainer for USF to bring him in. So, he just from the small, moments that we've been able to see him throw, including yesterday's media availability. I mean, he's a real deal. He's got a strong arm. He can, throw the ball over the field and is great in the deep middle and stretching the field vertically, which is something that USF, hasn't always been able to do over the last couple of seasons, really since Blake Barnett left in 2018. And, I think he's going to be a good fit, especially with his offense, because it is very similar with Travis Trickett's offense to what Baylor ran. So it should be, pretty easy for Gary to get acclimated into that offense. It sounds like he's already doing a pretty darn good job of it. We'll see what happens when they line it up on September 3rd.
So what do you think about just his leadership and his maturity? I know he got the number 2 grit award because he's been around in the offseason. He's doing all the right things. Do you get a sense that because this is a tricky thing, right? Timmy McClain has been here. He was very popular among his teammates. Another guy comes in. There can be a lot of bad feelings, but it doesn't seem like that's the thing. From what I'm hearing, he's really Bohannon. I'm talking about has really kind of earned the trust and the leadership of these and doing the leadership for these USF Bulls. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so that's what it sounds like, and we got a lot more clarity on that yesterday when Jeff Scott spoke to the media. Was they had 27, or they did a secret vote of who every player thought. I think it was every offensive player did their own vote, every defensive player did their own vote, and the offensive players were asked to select 3 players that they looked up to, that they, admired, that they thought could be good leaders. And the 3 on the offensive side of the football were Brad Cecil, who's, graduate student center, who's entering his 5th year, Meach Harris, who's graduate student offensive guard who's been around for forever, and Gary Bohannon. And Bohannon had, according to Jeff Scott, 27 votes in that secret vote, and there wasn't another quarterback that got even one. So, he said for sure that the team kind of knew maybe a little bit before the coaches knew he had some players that through the first week or two, first couple days of practice were saying that, Gary Bohannon was the guy, that Gary Bohannon was the one that they wanted to lead the room. They kind of knew in advance, but Jeff Scott wanted to wait it out a little bit and keep his timeline of getting to the first scrimmage, which is exactly what he did. Waited until after the first scrimmage to announce and make his decision of who would start. But it seems like there's been a pretty good reception for Gary Bohannon so far. Obviously, when you're not just losing, obviously you're losing a leader in Timmy McClain on the field, but then it's compounded when he transfers out of the program, because now you're also losing a teammate that's not going to be around the clubhouse, that's not going to be around the organization anymore. So I was a little concerned that things could get a little hairy, because obviously he's not just not going to be the starting quarterback, he's not going to be around the program at all. So, but it sounds like so far that hasn't been a problem just yet. Sounds like the guys are starting to rally around Gary, and it's a good sign.
And a lot of people are talking about without him in there, what's going to be behind Gary Bohannon? What if because he's one play away from getting injured, obviously. Travis Marsh, I think a lot of people forget are still there. And I know you've been banging the drum for his talent. Talk a little bit about him and how the coaching staff kind of feels about him, because he obviously is next man up if anything happens to Gary Bohannon.
Yeah, Travis Marsh is seriously underrated. I don't know why he got written off, as bad as he has over the last couple of months, and he's a guy that I'll definitely go to bat for. I mean, for folks that don't necessarily know his history, he came out of Miami Central High School in the transitional class between Charlie Strong and Jeff Scott. Was once a Utah commit at one point, if I remember correctly, and came in, won a state championship at Miami Central, and Jeff Scott surprised everyone when he started the 2020 American Athletic Conference opener for US up at Cincinnati, and he ended up throwing a couple of interceptions and looking like a true freshman, and maybe not so much of a game ready freshman as McClain was in 21. Marsh definitely needed a little bit more development, so he gets it, comes back in 21, and gets the opportunity to play against East Carolina on a short week on a rainy Thursday night while McClain's out injured, and actually leads the team to a halftime lead. And looked pretty good doing it. And, in the second half, he makes a couple of bad mistakes, a couple of coachable mistakes, which, if you're any coach, you want to make sure that, if your quarterback is going to make a mistake, at least make sure it's something that you can go ahead and you can fix down the road. And you take a look at the 3 interceptions that he threw, 2 of them off the rip that I could say right now. One, he didn't look off the corner. I think it was a curl route that he just didn't look off the corner, and Malik Fleming jumped it for pick 6 in the second half against ECU. Then the next one was just kind of throwing the ball up in the rain, might have slipped out of his hand. Maybe you don't make that decision. But, those were coachable mistakes, which gave me a lot of hope for what he could do. And then in the spring game, he played really well, led the team in passing, honestly looked better than Timmy in that game. And I think, regardless of Gary Bohannon transfers in this offseason, I think you still would have seen some sort of, maybe not as big of a competition, but you definitely would have seen some small competition between Travis Marsh and Timmy McClain. Travis was just, too improved, especially in the spring, to be able to deny him that opportunity.
Will Turner joining us here. We got a couple minutes left. Will, what are your thoughts on this defense and some of the transfers that came in? Obviously, that was a huge Achilles heel for this team last year. They weren't very big up front, couldn't really do much. But I've heard that they've definitely got a lot of new players in there and a lot of better team speed. What's your thoughts on the defense?
Yeah, so the defensive line room yesterday, as we got a chance to see practice for sure, it actually looks like a full room. It actually looks like a unit. It looks like DeQuan Bowers has guys to work with. And in years past, that might have not looked like the case. It looked like, even some of the walk-ons are kind of blending in with some of the guys that are scholarship players. So that's always good to see. I think with Bob Shoop, he's going to throw a variety of blitzes at opposing offenses. He's not just going to rush his 4-down lineman every play. He's going to rush 5. He's going to rush 6. He's going to rush 7 on a consistent basis. You're going to see corners blitzing. You're going to see safeties blitzing. You're going to see a lot of people on that defense that are going to be blitzing the quarterback, which is something that we just did not see last year. And the players are excited for it. Even the opposing offense, or USF's offense rather, has been excited to go against that kind of defense in practice because it's helping them get better for when they face a team like Florida or Louisville or Houston. And they're excited for it. I think the defense is going to be much improved. Obviously, the defensive line room is going to be the most unproven unit so far until we really get into things. Depth at defensive tackle is still a concern. They have plenty of edge rushers between Tramel Logan. I think he's primed for a breakout year. Rashawn Yates is definitely the leader of the room. Jatorian Hansford, a transfer from Missouri, has been talked about a lot. Rashad Chaney at defensive tackle should be pretty good. He's a transfer from Minnesota. So they've got guys that just need to find some depth at the D tackle position. But they could be really good. I think they should be a much improved unit.
All right. Well, great stuff as always, my friend. Enjoy the luncheon. If you're headed over there, you can find Will at W Turner 247 covering the Bulls, doing a great job. Hope to be chatting with you a lot this year. I think they're going to do some big things this year. So appreciate your time.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
It always
Will.
should be a fun year.
Yeah,
Thanks,
absolutely. JP. Yeah, finally. All right, quick break. When we come back, Bob Herrick's going to join us, Sports Illustrated senior golf writer. We'll find out what went down in the big meeting with Tiger Woods and all the PGA Tour players yesterday and what's going on with LIV Golf and the BMW Championship. Stay with us. The world economy is in chaos, and mortgage rates are going to go higher in the next few months. Meanwhile, home values are up 24% in some neighborhoods of Tampa Bay. Do not miss this opportunity to refinance your home, get some much-needed cash to handle skyrocketing inflation, and fill up your car. Contact Scott Fitzgerald at American Mortgage Services. Even if you've recently refinanced, Scott can make the deal work because he charges no lender fees like the big boys do. He will also shop your loan around to dozens of lenders and get the best rates and terms. Let them compete for your business. The big banks charge huge lending fees. Customer service is simply a phone number with endless wait times. Scott is local and will personally take your call. Here's his cell phone number. Tell him, Jay. Made you 3 times more likely to be hospitalized by COVID. So getting in shape is not just about looking better, it's about living much longer. At Bay Area Modern Medical Center, they take a very different approach to primary care. It's personalized preventative medicine. Christopher Lugo and his experienced staff are proactive in looking at your issues before they become a problem, encouraging a healthy lifestyle with proper diet, supplements, and exercise to optimize your active lifestyle. Building up your immune system, not destroying it with poor nutrition and bad habits. So call for an appointment, maybe change your primary care and get on a journey back to full health and a happy life. Call 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com. Tell them JP sent you for priority scheduling. 844-977-3477 or go to BAMMC.com.
Pure sports. JP is back on.
Welcome back.
FanStream Sports.
All right, welcome back to the J. Peterson Show, brought to you by Italiano Insurance and the great folks at the Golden Diamond Source. All right, just a couple minutes left. Wanted to check in with our good friend Bob Herrick, senior golf writer for Sports Illustrated. Joins us now. What's up, Bob? How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Fantastic. How's the weather up there at the BMW Championship? Getting ready for a big week up there.
It feels almost Arctic compared to home, so it's great. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, very, very comfortable.
Nice. Well, did things get heated at all in the meeting last night as Tiger Woods and Ricky Fowler flew up there to the BMW to meet with all the players? What are you hearing?
Yeah, I don't get the sense it was heated. I get the sense it was very much coming together of like minds, and there's not a whole lot of details emerging. I think they've sort of rallied around the idea of, look, we're not going to let out too much detail. So far, what I'm hearing is it's all general. It's all, we want to do right by the tour. We want to do what's best for the tour. We want to make sure it keeps improving and make it better than it is now, but no specifics as to how that would be done. Obviously it was a great show of support. Tiger would actually come to this meeting. It's just not something that we've seen from him. Yeah. He could have just got on Zoom or conference call or whatever, but he came to a 3-hour meeting at a hotel in Delaware, and just to be present. And it's saying something. And now what can he do? What can they do? What does it mean? That's the thing that I think is a little bit more difficult to figure out. Like, at this point, what is it? What are they saying? Like, do they have any specifics?
Right.
And I'm sure they do, and they're just not telling us right now. But even if they do, I'm sort of curious. Well, what would they be? Like, what would you do right now to counter live golf?
Right.
It's gotten off the ground. It started. I don't think it's going away. So now what? And I don't get the sense that Tiger's of the mind that he wants to sit down with them and try to work it out. So if you're not going to try to work it out, well, then what do? You're still going to have this divide, and how is that resolved?
Do you think this is, and especially as you make a great point of a Tiger showing up, is this just saying, look, we're solid here? It's almost like a picket line. Like, we're not going to budge. We don't want the LIV golf or live golfers coming in. We're going to stand our ground. We're not, either you guys are going to be with us or you're going to be against us. We're not going to, try to work rules to get you points to get into the majors. There's not going to be a sharing of the minds here. Is that what this message is sending? I mean, when you turn down $700 million, that should be the message that you're very serious about this. What Tiger did is that kind of what we're seeing here?
Possibly. The tour has clearly taken a hard line here, and they've suspended anyone indefinitely who's playing live events. They don't want them playing in PGA Tour events. Their stance has been, if you're going to go over there, fine, then stay over there. But I think if you step back from it, is that good? Is that good overall? This tournament last year, we had a great playoff with Patrick Cantlay beating Bryson DeChambeau in a 6-hole playoff.
That's right.
It was one of the best tournaments of the year.
Yeah.
And you can't have that now because Bryson's not allowed to play out here. Now, I fully understand why people think that's fine. He made his choice. Okay, fair enough. But the bottom line is that means there's some pretty good players over there that are not going to be playing with PGA Tour players outside of the majors. And is that what we want in the game? Say what you want about Liv. There's some good players there who, they're going to be in majors and they've won majors. They've earned exemptions. I'm just not sure, that kind of a split is good. We've seen what that's done in other sports.
Yeah.
And it never lasts.
Yeah.
It never lasts. And, way back in the day with the USFL, was it great that Jim Kelly was not playing in the NFL?
No.
Or Steve Young or those guys? Eventually the USFL went away on its own.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure Liv is going away on its own.
No.
And so, then, and frankly, they're probably going to continue to bleed a few players over there, whether it's later this year, whether it's next year, whether it's 2024. Do we want that? What if a guy wins the Masters next year and says, okay, I've achieved an incredible career goal. I'm going to, I'm exempt should be in the Masters forever and the other majors for 5 years. I'm going to go play Liv.
Right. Yeah.
You know, so is that what we want? I mean,
It's not good for golf.
That's where I think maybe there's a chance for some sort of compromise between them. It just doesn't seem like that's happening anytime soon, given kind of the just the venom that's between them right now.
Yeah, and I think that's why Tiger was there. He's there to say, look, guys, I gave up all this money. We got to stand firm. We don't need, if you guys win a major, just like you just described, you can't be going over. There's more at stake here than just your money. And I think that's what Tiger was there for. And it's and you're out there on tour. These guys idolize him. That's a powerful voice. And can that keep these guys together?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it might sway some, but
$100 million sways them more.
Yeah, I mean, or even if it's less than that. I mean, I've said this many times now since this has all started, and I've written it. I mean, there's no guaranteed money in golf the way it's set up now,
right.
And if you just take that down to its core, what other line of work does anybody pay money to go to a site to do a job for 2 or 3 days with no guarantee of being compensated?
Nowhere.
I mean, even a freelancer in some sort of business has some guarantee that he's going to be repaid in some way for going.
Right.
But in golf, there's no cut this week, so everybody's getting paid. That's great, but you can't. The way golf is set up, you have to have a cut.
Right.
Okay. But yet those for 2 days, those guys are part of the show.
Yep.
Now, are people going there to watch all of them? No. Like, is so and so necessarily selling any tickets? No. But he's part of the show for 2 days. If I bought a ticket, and I walk in at 9:00 and I want to watch a bunch of people tee off on number one, I'm going to see the guys who tee off on number one. And some of those guys are not named guys, but they're part of it. And I'm paying to see them, and they are there with no guarantee of getting paid. And a lot of them take part in the Pro-Am, which of course brings in a lot of money.
Yep.
And so they play the Pro-Am on Wednesday. They play 2 rounds on Thursday and Friday. They miss the cut by a shot. They've paid X number of thousands of dollars to be there, and they don't get anything.
Yeah. No, it's a great point.
That's inherently wrong, probably. Even in tennis, the first round loser of a tennis tournament gets paid.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
it's very
and
odd.
this is the crux of it. Now, of course, we weren't talking $100 million, but we were talking, there probably should be something.
Yeah.
And I don't know how they get there, because it's not that easy. It's easy for me to spend their money.
Well, Bob Herrick joining us here. Just a couple minutes left, Bob. How do you think this is going to impact the Valspar this year? We got the dates now. The Bay Hill tournament, they boosted their purse up to $20 million. You got the players around it. Is there going to be a live golf tournament somewhere in Florida the same week as Valspar? And might it be at the one, Trump course down south in Doral? I mean, it kind of looks that way.
I kind of doubt they're going to play that week because they've said they won't go up against the legacy events. They've said they won't go up against the majors, and there's just a lot going on then.
Right.
And so, I mean, it's possible. But, if they truly, truly want to see a day where their guys can also play in PGA Tour events, you're not going to want to schedule it the week after or the week before a really, really big tournament, because that follows the Valspar follows the players and it precedes the match play.
Right.
In theory, a guy who the Live wants would want to play in both of those. So then you're going to ask them to play 3 weeks in a row, plus maybe the Arnold Palmer a couple of weeks before the Masters.
That's a good
Now,
point.
look, the way they're set up now, of course, those guys won't be playing any of those events, and so it's possible. I'm sure they're going to have, when they start their schedule next year, they're going to probably start in February. I wouldn't be surprised if they picked a Florida date. Maybe it's the Honda week. And then, waited until after the Masters, played against New Orleans, the team event. And then, maybe in early May, another one. They're going to play weeks when the tour is down. I don't necessarily think Valspar is a down week.
Right.
It's been getting a good field.
Great field, yeah.
On a great golf course. It's only a few weeks before the Masters. So, but look, it's an issue. And going forward, I think it's one of the reasons they should work with them, because, if they don't, if they don't work with them, a lot of these guys aren't necessarily playing some of these tournaments anyway. That's not the case with Valspar. They had Koepka last year. They had DJ. They've had DeChambeau in the past. They've had some of these guys who've gone over. Reed, of course, has played in the Valspar. So it's a very volatile situation. Who knows how it's going to play out? But I just hate the idea of thinking that some of these guys do we really want to have this separation? And I understand why they might not want to work with them, but I also sort of think maybe they might have to down the road.
Great stuff, Bob. As always, man, appreciate your time. And this is going to get even more interesting as the weeks go on. So we'll be following you at Bob Herrig and at Sports Illustrated lead golf writer. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks for having me. Be well.
All right. All right, we're right up against it here at the end, and I don't know what the hell's going on over at AB's house, but there's some stuff on Twitter where he's involved with the police. So we'll keep you up to date on Twitter on that as well. All right, our thanks to John Gerber, PGA Pro, Chris Lugo from BAMMC.com. Great information there. Dan Lucas joined us live from Nashville. A hell of a show. Will Turner talking USF football, and, of course, the great Bob Herrick. Have a great day, everybody. Go Rays. Talk to you tomorrow.